Paid advertising has completely changed from what it was 12 months ago. We have single accounts spending over $3 million per month on Meta, on Google, and even on TikTok. I've seen what's working, I've seen what's dying, and I'm about to show you what is about to explode over the next 12 months. There's 6 major shifts that are happening. These are gonna give you the competitive advantage over everybody else. So whether you're spending $500 per day or $50,000 per day, these are the 6 trends that are gonna impact your campaigns the most this year. So let's dive right in. Number 1, and I've talked about this in some other videos, and if you haven't seen this, I highly encourage you to go check out my other videos on Andromeda. But Andromeda has completely changed the game. This is a content first algorithm. Now, previously, what happened is you used to have all these audiences that you had to segment. Now, the creative has done the targeting. Go look at my earliest videos on my channel. I've gotten obviously much better at content, but I talk about the strategies, content first strategies. We've been big into that. Creative is everything. That's the ad. The ad is the targeting. I actually let go of a client because they kept getting up our ass about the audiences. They're like, we want you to test these audiences. I'm like, dude, like, no, I'm not doing this. The creative is the targeting. Now, like, for example, when you call out your audience, like, hey, doctors, do you think somebody that's not a doctor is going to click on that? Like, think of your scrolling experience on this platform. If you saw an ad and you're not a doctor that said, hey, doctors, are you going to stop and watch that? No. Do you think if I had something that was just a generic ad, but I had audience targeting with doctors, like that ad itself is so direct to who it's speaking to, it's going to get directly in front of the person. So this is what I mean by the creative. Now, that's not the only way. You don't have to always call out that person, although call outs are highly effective ways to get directly in front of the people that you want to be in front of. But Meta completely shifted it. So Andromeda, it moved it to a content first strategy, which is what we were talking about before Andromeda came out. We were predicting it. We were on top of it. It's very important that you are creating content that satisfies Andromeda. So what we've seen is custom audiences and lookalike audiences are performing less and less than ever. They're less effective than they've ever been. Broad targeting is the best. Now, I'm not saying don't test other audiences. We always like to see what they do, but broad targeting with the right creative, with the right messaging is always outperforming. And by broad, that means just letting the algorithm decide who it places in front of. So the real lever that you're going to pull as an advertiser is going to be improving your creative. You want to hire somebody like me or hire a strategist or somebody who really understands this, who can help you develop the right creatives. Number 2 is AI-driven creative optimization. So if you are an advertiser or if you've launched your own ads, you've probably seen a lot of these switches when you go into the ads level and you add the ad, and then you have to click on, like, you know, the formatting for the different placements, and then it'll generally give you like options of what generative AI you want to add on. Do you want to add on links? Do you want to add on headlines? It's going to give you all these variations, and it tests them against different audiences. Previously, how this used to work is you used to have to create 5 ads, 5 headlines, 5 copy, and you would do 1 ad at a time. You would test it versus the 5 headlines, and then you would determine the winner. And then you would take that headline with the next ad and you would test that and you would test it. And so you would do all these tests. And that's really what a media buyer used to do. Now, the media buying isn't that important. Like, media buyers, really, it's just turn this on. That's all it is turn on the campaign. And now the real strategy is the creative. What's the creative that we need? What's the angle? What's the copy that we need to really get in front of the right audiences? I know I'll give you an example of what this looks like from like an e-commerce perspective. One of my good friends, he spends millions of dollars per month. He's worked with some of the biggest clothing brands. Actually, Cuts, they're direct competitors with Cuts. I'm not going to say the brand, but they don't even do any audiences anymore. Again, they're spending millions per month. What they do, they put in different colored shirts. So I'm wearing like I think this is like a maroon color. I'm not too good with my colors, but this looks like maroon to me. Ladies, you might call it some other color, but we'll call it maroon. They put in their creatives, they segment their campaigns by the color of the shirt because they found that people who buy maroon shirts are are more likely to buy maroon shirts. People who buy black shirts are more likely to buy black shirts. So that's what we mean by the creative is the messaging. Now, so you put that one creative in. Now the AI is going to start optimizing it. It's going to split test headlines. It's going to learn which combination sequences, and it's going to adapt based off of what's trending and what the audiences are responding to. So it's analyzing like all of these responses. Number 3 is the privacy apocalypse, which is iOS 26. Google has also eliminated third-party cookies. I talked about this a lot last year. We've talked about privacy issues. We work in the most regulated space, which is telehealth, because these are like HIPAA compliant. So they're extremely aggressive on what you can and can't do as an advertiser. And you have to have the right creative. The creative is now the messaging. All these privacy restrictions are making it harder than ever. They've eliminated click IDs, right? So Apple's iOS 26 has eliminated click IDs. A lot of third-party attribution tools are starting to tank due to these privacy changes. Additionally, email and SMS is broken for a lot of Apple users. And what you need to rely on now is first-party data. It's non-negotiable. So what does this look like? You're going to need to make sure that you set up CAPI and that you're sending back all of the data to the data sets and to the pixel. So this is going to be your customer lists, your emails, your phone numbers. This is first party data. This is data that you got. This isn't third party data from a pixel or from third party platform. This is data that you have gotten and owned, and you need to send that data back to the ads manager and confirm that that's who you got. Now is the AI is going to learn based off of that. Now it sees this data come back in, and it's going to adjust, and it's going to really dial in the campaigns as it gets more of this first party data. Number 4 is campaigns are starting to stall. And this is what I'm referring to is even when everything appears to be fine and looks normal. Now, the number one reason that I'm seeing campaigns stall, so these are campaigns that previously used to work or campaigns, again, where everything is fine, is they're over-segmenting their campaigns. So they'll have like 6 to 10 campaigns, and like all of these campaigns are going after the same person. Generally, most businesses I work with, they might have like 2 to 3 types of customers, like the way that the AI sees it. Like, for example, I work with a lot of weight loss clinics. It's like, you don't even need to segment the male and female. Like, you could literally put them all in because these are all people that are looking to lose weight. The AI is going to know that. It's going to learn it based off of your landing pages, your creatives, how people engage with the ads, and then it's going to place it directly in front of those people. Now, you might offer some other performance peptides. Well, that's a different campaign. That you want to have segmented and separated. But like, you don't need 12 different campaigns for one weight loss offer that you're selling. That's just competing. So these are the things that I'm seeing. They need more volume. We like to have no less than 15 to 25 creatives to launch. And then our goal is we want to get to 65 plus creatives, high performing creatives, so we can like really hit the throttle and scale aggressively. Additionally, with the campaigns, what people are doing is they're making decisions too fast. We're seeing that the AI is just taking more time to learn. I mean, and you also have to do the math too. For example, if your cost of acquisition is $300 and you have, let's just say 10 creatives, and let's assume that for whatever reason, Meta equally distributed the spend, which, as you know, if you've ever launched ads, that's never going to happen. But let's assume that it did. You would have to spend $3,000 on 10 ads to get 10 conversions. So $300 conversions times 10 ads is going to be $3,000 that you have to spend to get all of those ads to get one sale. So when you factor in that now the algorithm's asking for 15 to 25 creatives, so you can quickly do the math that all of those have to get some spend before it really dials in. So this is, again, what you need to be doing and why it takes longer time. Now, budgets are smaller. There's other strategies in place that are going to work for smaller budgets if you don't have that time and ability to spend through that. But that's why, like, for me personally, I don't like taking on accounts where we can't spend through some of those learning curves and immediately get to the data that we need. Number 5, authenticity wins. Everything right now is super polished, perfected with AI. So you want to be different than what everybody is. Different is better than better. That's one of the things you need to know in marketing is being different is better than being better. So when everybody's doing this perfect AI driven content, these perfect influencers with the perfect edits, sometimes all you got to do is just pull out your phone and be a real human. Because guess what? People buy from people. So you want to be authentic. We're seeing actually, I've literally created tens of thousands of UGC videos. I spend thousands of dollars every single month just on video edits alone. Like literally some months upwards of like $7,000 to $8,000 a month just on video editing. And this isn't like US based editors. This is like cheap Indians, cheap talent worldwide. So we're doing a very high volume of creatives every single month. Then on top of it, we're directing our clients to do all these edits too. A lot of them have their own in-house editing team. So we see creative at scale. We used to script a lot more. Now we're just telling them, hey, I need you to talk about these bullet points. So if we give a creator content and we need them to film an ad, we used to script it super heavy. Same thing with mine. My ads, like I've even tested this myself. I have scripted ads, teleprompter, and then I'll just go and like raw dog it and just straight let an ad rip. And some of those are my best performing ads where I'm just talking. That's what we're seeing is working the best. The authenticity is what wins because people can tell it's polished and they want to skip past it. But when they see something real and raw, that's what social media is. It's meant to be real. It's meant to be authentic. So make sure you're keeping your content authentic. You can do polished content, but really put an effort to getting the authentic stuff. If you're working with UGC creators, just give them talking points. Let them run it. Test it and see how it works. I'm not here to be right. I'm here to make the most money. So always test what you're doing versus something new because that's how you're going to make more money. So when you're seeing diminishing returns and campaigns are throttling or things aren't doing what they used to do, you have to stop and ask, well, what am I doing? What can I change? And then look at the data and make data-driven decisions around those changes that you made. And then number 6 trend that I'm seeing is AI UGC. Now, I know I just talked about being authentic and having authenticity, but AI UGC is a secret weapon. Why? Because you can test concepts at scale. So for example, I might need to hire a creator. I might pay $400 or $500 to a content creator and say, film this ad for me. Well, if I have 10 ad concepts, that's $4,000 to $5,000 to a creator. And I don't know which one's going to win. Well, guess what? I can go on a thing like ArcAds or HeyGen and I can spin those 10 concepts up for $10 a video. I can then run those 10 ads and put some ad spend behind all of them, drive successful conversions, and I'll see these 2 ads are actually the ones that performed. The other 8 didn't do well. So guess what? I'm now going to take those 2 winning ads and I'm going to hand those off to that authentic creator and say, hey, I want you to be authentic. Here's the frameworks that I want you to follow. Here's the winning angle that I want you to take. You can test things much faster with AI. So AI UGC has gotten way better. I like HeyGen or ArcAds, but you're still going to want to implement some best practices. You want to clip in some B-roll with these. You might even want to pay creators for their B-roll. You can get cheap creators for like $50 to film B-roll footage of them working out, of them doing, day in the life, get ready with me. That type of content is really going to help. And then you get the AI creator and you blend the two. Your editor will do this and you can now get content scaled very rapidly because a good creator, they're busy, they're filming content, they're 2 days, 3 days, sometimes like 4 to 5 days out. If they're really busy, they might be like 5 to 7 days out. So I have a trend right now. There's something that just hit the internet that I can immediately capitalize on. And guess what? Trending content always outperforms. It gets pushed because they lower your CPMs. It's giving a better user experience. Remember, the user experience is everything. So think about this. And in 2026, I want you to really analyze like content creators that you like, pages that you like. Look at how many different types of content they're doing. They're doing B-roll ads where it'll be like them working out. They're not saying anything. It's just words on the screen and some music. So like incorporate those types of ads, create diversification, go watch my videos, learn more about what's working right now. And now that you know the 6 paid advertising trends that are dominating in 2026, you need to learn the actual system that allows you to implement them and scale. And there's an exact step-by-step framework that I use with all of my clients. It combines all of these trends to consistently hit 6 and 7-figure months. So what I want you to do is check out this video. It breaks down the complete paid ads guide. It's going to show you exactly how to piece everything together so you can scale to your first 100K per month.